Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Radhe Govinda,
Radhe Radhe.
I see nothing.
Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Panad Guru Varga ki jai, Pati Pavan Shri Nityanand Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandan Gaura Hari ki jai, Shri Rai Ramananda ki jai, Radhya Tirobha Maha Mahotsav ki jai, Shri Radha Vinodi Hari Ju ki jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj ki जय राधा रमन जी की जय हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय गौर भक्त वृंद की जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल Starting with Mangalacharan on page 1 of Gaudiya Giti Gupta, and that's Vandeham, D-A-N-D-E-H-A-M, Vandeham. पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमः विष्णुपादाय गौरप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्री श्रीमद्भक्तिप्रज्ञान केशव इति नामिने अतीवत्यचरित्राय स्वश्रितानक्षपालिने जीवदुःखे सदर्भाय श्रीनामप्रेमदायिने नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वतीति नामिने श्रीवर्षभानुमती देवी दयिताय कृपाभये कृष्णाय सम्बन्धविज्ञान दैने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्ज्वलप्रेमध्यान श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिदा श्रीगौरकरुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोऽस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुगनिरुद्धाम सिद्धान्तध्वन्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षान्मैराज्ञमूर्तये विक्रलम्हारसम्बोधे पदं पूजायते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगवराय ते गौराविर्भावभूमेस्त्वं निर्देष्टा सजनप्रिया वैष्णव सर्वभौमश्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जयतां सुरतोपङ्गो मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वं पदम्बोज राधामदनमोहनो दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमः श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थो श्री श्रीराधा श्रीगोविन्ददेव प्रेष्ठानिधि सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमद्रसरसारम्भी वंशिमततस्थितः कर्षन्मे गुरुस्वरगोपी गोपीनाथश्रीयस्तु नः वृन्दाय तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियायै केशवस्य च कृष्णभक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्याविभूजीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनम् सर्वात्मस्वपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम् हरे राम हरेर्नामेव केवलं कलो मनस्येव गतिरन्यथा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Shri Guru Charana Padma. Page 28. Shri Guru Charana Padma. SRI. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Samma Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Samma Vando Savodhano भक्ति चाहा होते गोविंद विनाश जलते वेदे गाय चाहा रोचरी इबारत को प्रणाम करो। That's E-I, A-E, Ibaro, Varanaparo, and that's page 44 in this book.
Starts with
Yeah.
E-I.
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 Nitai. Nitai. Annie. Nitai.
It's nighttime. 62. 1.
Page 61. Setanta y uno.
And as always, thank you so much, Srila Prabhu, for your wonderful, helpful seva for all of us by putting the bhajans in the thread. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Just giving time for the lyrics.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi was looking for something with Ramananda Rai in it.
But we could do Kalayati Nayana.
Yes, and like Bhajare Bhajare Aman.
Oh, nice. Okay. Bhajare.
176.
Can you tell what the bhajan is?
Bhajore Bhajore Amar. BHAJO. Bhajore Bhajore Amar. Mana Atimundra.
This is a little bit of a difficult one if you go back and forth. Can you explain it a little bit? Because it's not easy to follow.
It's actually very difficult to follow, so we won't do this one right now. Because they have all these fillers in between, and so then it jumps forward and then jumps back and jumps forward and jumps back and takes quite a bit of practice.
Maybe once a week we could do something like that. Learn a particular bhajan. That might be nice.
What other bhajans is the name of Ramananda Rai present within?
Kalayati Nayana.
Besides Kalayati Nayanam.
We can always just go. No.
When did that happen?
Just this minute. That one seems okay. Mine stopped completely.
Hare Krishna.
Is everyone there?
It's going?
I think so. So which bhajan?
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karunoram.
This is way back. I'm still singing.
It's just moving slowly. Sorry everyone. I don't know what's going on. They're saying that they can't tell if we're still on or not, so I'm gonna go to mine.
Yeah,
It looks like it's still going.
you're still singing.
No? Hare Krishna.
Has anyone said anything?
I'm just gonna
Both of
continue.
ours are. Ours aren't working.
Hold on a second.
It says Kishori Mohan is watching. Jiva Pavana Prabhu Sri Krishna Chaitanya. It's working.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just ours.
Well,
I
just
don't
keep
know.
yours on your Facebook.
Okay. Both of our phones just stopped. Let's try it again. Just go ahead. They're there. It's just we're not.
Krishna Chaitanya. That's 96. Daya karo re Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Daya karo Toma bina ke doyalu jagat samsari. Sanatan Radha Krishna Pranamod, page 123. Excuse me. somehow it appears that we're having some difficulty recognizing whether or not we're online. Ramananda said what? Oh. So I'm going to switch it to a more reliable connection, hopefully. Okay, thank you. So let me check. For how long?
But other people have been on.
I'm just going to switch it to a different
But
connection
if
here.
Ramananda can't get on,
No one can.
If Ramananda can't get on, no one gets on. Okay.
and that goes for everyone. If everyone can't get on, no one can.
Hare Krishna. Please bear with me for a second. This might be a little annoying. Now, please let us know, alert us if you can follow, if you can see, if Guru Parampara is in the picture. Thakurji's in there. Thank you. Is everyone okay there? Good? Yes, I see everyone.
Okay, Champak says it's working.
Okay. Is Ramananda on?
Let's make sure.
Because today's Ramananda's day. We can't be here without Ramananda.
Everyone's with us, I think. We're getting a lot of yeses, but nothing from Ramananda, guys.
Subi's phone is acting up. Page 1, 2, 3. Radha Krishna Pranamor Jugala Kishore. Starting with R-A-D-H-A. Page 1, 2, 3.
Ramananda's here! Ramananda!
Radha Krishna Pranamor Jugala Kishore. Radha Krishna Pranamor Jugala Kishore. Radha Krishna Pranamor Jugala Radha Krishna I was thinking about that, and I was wondering if I should mix it or if I should keep it separate but of course it will come up. It must come up.
I don't know if that was a yes or a no, Jiva Prabhu.
It's a maybe. Because that specific subject was not specifically discussed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Raya Ramananda. That subject comes up more in the discussions of Srila Rupa Goswami and our Shad Goswamis and
So will
our
it come up
Upananda
more?
Guru Varga. It will come up a lot more in this. So I'll think about it. Definitely Radhikesha. Okay, Kalayati Nayanam. Starts with K, K-A-L-A-Y-A-T-I, Kalayati. What page is it? Page 342. And this is written by Sri Ramananda Rai. Maybe spoken by. And nonetheless, it's very sweet. something wrong?
Nothing.
It's still connected.
Yes.
Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Dama Visnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayanitti Namine Nama Visnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitti Namine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitan Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Nandayate Girim Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandava Pranam thousands of times at the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad astottara Shri Srimad Shri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaja. In the same thousands of Dandava Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad astottara Shri Srimad Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada. To all of our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas, past, present, and future, including those who are with us today, my Dandava Pranam.
Dandava Pranam.
So today, here in Vrindavan, we are observing the anniversary of the disappearance day of Sri Ramananda Rai. Sri Ramananda Rai ki jai. Sri Ramananda Rai is no ordinary personality. He's an eternal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Gaur Lila, and he's an eternal associate of Sri Radha and Krishna in Radha Krishna Lila. According to our Rupanuga Guru Varga, we understand that Sri Ramananda Rai in Krishna Lila, in his eternal relationship with Radha and Krishna, is none other than Sri Vishaka Sakhi. So intimate, so close, and so near and dear to Srimati Radhika. They were born on the same day. So they have very similar sentiments and moods and understandings. So Sri Vishaka Sakhi has manifested in Gaur Lila as Sri Ramananda Rai. Sri Lalita Sakhi has manifested as Swarup Damodar Goswami. Sri Rupa Manjari has manifested as Rupa Goswami. So we see a very direct correlation between Radha Krishna Lila and Gaur Lila. It is said that Navadvip Dham is Gupta Vrindavan, secret Vrindavan. So there's a very special characteristic of Gaur Lila, where everyone is in the mood of bhaktas, awakening devotion for Krishna. And in Vrindavan, of course, everyone is always serving Krishna. So there's a very close connection between the two. As Srila Narottam Das Thakur has said, Gaura Prema Rasarnave Se Tarangi Jevarube Se Radha Madhava Antaranga. Diving deep into the ocean, into the waves of Gaur Prem, one will surface in Jamuna at Sri Vrindavan Dham in the association of Sri Radhika and Madhava. So how close is it? But still there are specialities. So Ramananda Rai is no ordinary personality. We find again and again within the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everywhere, in his relationship with Haridas Thakur, in his relationship with Sri Sanatan and Rupa Goswamis, in his relationship with Ramananda Rai, in his relationship with Maharaj Prataparudra. So many times we find, also in his relationship, I've already mentioned Sanatan Goswami, but in terms of the bodily, physical manifestation as well, how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu responded to individuals in relation to the depth of their bhakti, discounting all other external circumstances, also including judging someone by their birth, by their activities before they came to the path of bhakti, by their external physical appearance. Sanatan Goswami had been very physically ill with so many sores all over his body. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced him, feeling himself to be purified by the embrace of Sanatan Goswami, despite all of the external sores. So coming from the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, those who claim to be followers of Mahaprabhu must follow Mahaprabhu's teachings. Otherwise they cannot claim to be in his line. Those who are claiming to follow Mahaprabhu must understand that there's one qualification, and that is the qualification of bhakti. How deep is someone's bhakti? To that extent, we glorify them. To that extent, we offer our pranam to them. That is why Srila Rupa Goswami, in the 5th verse of Sri Upadeshamrita, Krishneti yasya kiritam manasadriyeta dikshashti chet pranatibhishcha bhajantamisham shushrusaya bhajana vidyamananyamanya nindari shunyam hitamim sita sankalabhya. He has taught us how to honor Vaishnavas according to their depth or level of bhakti. In the material world, there's also proper etiquettes which must be observed according to social convention in general. But bhakti, the depth of bhakti, is the only thing which actually has any real bearing. All the rest is external. So Sri Upadeshamrita says in the 4th verse, Drishtai svabhava janitair vapushashta dosha na prakritatvam iha bhakta janasya pashyet gangam samna kalabhut budapena pankar brahma dravatvam apagachati niradharmai. That one should not judge a pure devotee by their external. This means maybe by their behavior in terms of expressing maybe some brash kind of character, maybe they're expressing anger, or how they look, maybe they might be crooked, or maybe their bodies might be darkish complexion. In certain cultures, they judge people according to the color of their bodies, and so it is not unreasonable to mention this in many cultures actually, or their birth, or maybe they have some disease, or they may be crooked. These are all external things, but Gangam Asham Nakalu Bud Budapena Pankar. We should understand in the same way that the Ganga is always transcendental and pure, despite there being the presence of mud and bubbles and even dead bodies floating through. Ganga is always transcendental and pure. In the same way, the pure devotee should be seen. We should not see the external, material characteristics and judge them. And Mahaprabhu showed in his own reciprocation and dealings with so many personalities. Like I told the other day, Rup and Sanatan came to him. From what situation? Rup and Sanatan were so intelligent, although they had been born in families of Brahmins, technically they lost their caste. How? At that time, it is said that even if the shadow of a Muslim, what to speak of a drop of water from them, touched you, you would lose your caste. So Rup and Sanatan were so intelligent, and the Muslim ruler discovered this, that he personally engaged them in the very, very elevated positions of being his prime minister, Sanatan Goswami, and his treasurer, Rupa Goswami. And they received Muslim names, Dabir Kash and Sakar Malik. They resided in that situation. And yet when they came to Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu didn't judge them by their previous association, didn't judge them by the fact they have technically lost their caste. When they arrived, Mahaprabhu only saw their bhakti, and Mahaprabhu treated them accordingly. Why am I mentioning this? I'm also mentioning it in terms of Haridas Thakur. How was Mahaprabhu in relation to Haridas Thakur? Haridas Thakur is said to be born in a Muslim family, but yet when he was challenged, you should give up chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, and instead you should chant, Allah is great. Haridas Thakur said, you can punish me. Even if you cut my body into thousands of pieces, still I cannot give up chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So they tried to teach him a very valuable lesson by beating him in 22 marketplaces, and yet he could not give up the chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Mahaprabhu, seeing his nishta, his conviction, his dedication, his love and affection, was so affectionately inclined toward him that he offered him something. Haridas asked him one thing: I don't want to be in this world when you depart from this world. I don't want to see that. I don't want to experience that. And the other thing, when I depart from this world, I want to hold your feet on my heart and look into your eyes. So how dear was this Haridas to Mahaprabhu? Mahaprabhu was born in a very high-class Brahmin family. No? The son of Jagannath Mishra. He was known as Nimai Pandit, and he was a teacher of so many others. And he was defeating so many others in logic and philosophy and everything. And yet, he's showing in his own spiritual evolution. And I can say that because it's Krishna endeavoring to taste the moods of Srimati Radhika. He's evolving in the experience of tasting that. He showed that despite all of that, he was willing to, not only willing to, desirous of the association of those persons who would normally be considered outcast in society, even from Varnashram. So what did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu do? When Haridas Thakur was departing from this world, Haridas was looking in his eyes, holding the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his heart, looking in the eyes at the beautiful face of Mahaprabhu and saying, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. And in that way he gave up his life. Mahaprabhu began weeping and weeping. He picked up the body of Haridas in so much attachment and affection for his dearest devotee and began dancing and roaring and doing kirtan. How dear is this Haridas Thakur? So Mahaprabhu showed again and again. Srimad Bhagavatam shows again and again. Bhagavad Gita shows again and again. In every place. And there's a verse from Padma Purana which explicitly states that anyone who judges a Vaishnava according to their birth or their previous activities before they have accepted the path of Vaishnavism is paving a path to hell for themselves. You are paving a path to hell if you're judging a Vaishnava according to external, mundane, material conditionings. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coined this verse: Naham dipro na chanarapati napi vaishyo na shudro naham varni na chagrihapati no vanastho yatirva kintu prodyan nikila paramanand purnamritabdher gopi bhartu padakamayor das das anudasa. That I am none of these external things. I am not a Brahman, Naham dipro. I am not a Kshatriya. I am not a Vaishya. I am not a Shudra. I am not a Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. My only identity is that I am the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna, who is the beloved of the gopis, especially Srimati Radhika. This is what Mahaprabhu came to awaken. The path of spontaneous love for all souls, our Shuddha Sanatan Dharma. So why am I telling all of this? This is a foundation for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's meeting with a very great personality, Sri Ramananda Rai. Ramananda Rai was the governor of King Maharaj Prataparudra. And we see that generally a sannyasi should not associate with a king, because kings are absorbed in collecting money, dealing with mundane subjects, fighting wars, living in luxury, enjoying so much. So it is inappropriate for a sannyasi to associate with a king. But still, Mahaprabhu associated with Maharaj Prataparudra because Maharaj Prataparudra, more than being in the position of a king, was a very great devotee of the Lord. So Mahaprabhu valued this quality above all else and associated with Maharaj Prataparudra. Very beautiful interactions took place between Mahaprabhu and that king. Also this governor, Sri Ramananda Rai. Mahaprabhu was told by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya We know that Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath Puri, and there, in the mood of Srimati Radhika, saw her own beloved, Rajendra Nandan Shyamasundar, upon entering the temple of Sri Jagannath. He didn't see the form that we see when we enter, like this, with Subhadra and Baladev. Rather, our Gurudev explained, Bhuje Sevya Venum Shirishishiki Pucham Katitate Dukulam Netrante Sahachara Kataksham Vidatate Sada Srimad Vrindavana Vasati Leela Parichayo Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatume. Oh Jagannath Swami, please reveal yourself to me. Nayana Patagami Bhavatume. Who are you really? So how is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu seeing Jagannath? In the same way that Srimati Radhika would see her Ishtadev. How? Bhuje Sevya Venum Shiki Picham Katitate. As Krishna in Vrindavan, wearing a peacock feather, golden, yellow cloth, holding a flute to his lips and casting his beautiful kataksha, sidelong glances upon the devotees, the Brajavasis, especially his gopis. Sada Srimad Vrindavan, always residing in Vrindavan and performing his leelas, Vasati Leela Parichayo. This is the form that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was seeing, Sakshat Rajendra Nandan. So Mahaprabhu immediately ran to embrace that personality, who is the dearmost of the heart of Srimati Radhika. At that time, he was stopped by some of the pujaris and he fell unconscious. It is said that they wanted to beat him, but Sarvabhauma recognized some transcendental ecstatic symptoms. According to Shastra, he recognized, oh, these are not ordinary symptoms. These are symptoms of ashtasatvika bhavs, divine transcendental emotions. So he stopped them and took Mahaprabhu to his own place. After some time, he realized, first Sarvabhauma had the impersonalist understanding, but he realized after some days that Mahaprabhu is none other than the Supreme Lord himself. And Mahaprabhu manifested the form of Shadbhuj. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 2 arms holding Kamandulu and Danda, 2 arms of Krishna holding a flute, and 2 arms of Sri Ramachandra holding bow and arrows. This is Shadbhuj, 6-armed form. He manifested to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And so many beautiful discussions took place with Sarvabhauma. But Sarvabhauma recommended to Mahaprabhu, if you are going south, then I recommend you a very, very dear devotee. I recommend you to meet up with this dear devotee. His name is Rai Ramananda. A very dear devotee of the Lord and knowledgeable in all Shastra. Completely dedicated and devoted. So this is the nature of conversations with mature personalities, that they are always seeking out association with devotees who can increase their taste for bhakti rasa. This is the purpose of associating with devotees. Our Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaja said that these days we find that devotees come together in the name of being devotees, but then say, how are you? What's going on? How's your income? How's your wife? What are all of these material things? What kind of problems are you going? What's the latest movie you've seen? What's the best TV show you're watching? All of these kind of things go on in the name of being devotees. But Srila Gurudev was saying that really devotees should come together to encourage one another to remember the beautiful and sweet names, forms, qualities, and pastimes of Krishna in relationship with his dear devotees. This is what it means to come together in devotee association. We should associate with the devotee within each other, not remind each other of things which will send us back into samsara, but remind each other of those topics and those subjects which will please Krishna, and which will ultimately be pleasing to our own souls. Savai pongsan varo dharmo dito bhakti radhokshaje ahaitaki apkriti hata yayatma suprasidati. What will satisfy me? Why will it satisfy me? Because it is satisfying to Krishna. Yayatma suprasidati. It will grant complete happiness, complete perfection. Bhakti. So, in the conversation between Sarvabhauma and Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, when you go there, you should meet with this Rai Ramananda. So what did Mahaprabhu do? He went right to that place. Which place was it? It was the place where Rai Ramananda would go to bathe in the river, Godavari. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went and he sat there, shining effulgent like millions of suns, but simultaneously as cooling as millions of moons. As we say in the Gaur Arti Bhajan, Bahu Koti Chandra Jini Vadana Ujjwal. How beautiful is he? He's so beautiful. His face is like millions of moons. So although he's so brilliant and effulgent, still the effect is so cooling and so pacifying, nurturing, nourishing. So at that time, Ramananda is the governor. Ramananda, he came through that place. So many Brahmins were accompanying him, chanting prayers. He was being carried on a palanquin, dressed in very, very luxurious clothing, adorned with jewels and all sorts of luxuries. And they brought him to that place, and off in a distance he saw this most brilliant, beautiful, divine personality, Sri Sachinandan Gaura Hari Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because Ramananda is a devotee of the Lord, it is generally the nature of the devotee that they can recognize their Lord one way or another. Sometimes the Lord is able to fool them for some time. Like with Madhavendra Puri. Gopal came to him, but when Madhavendra Puri started acknowledging and admiring the beauty of this child, mind you, he wasn't attracted to anything of this world, completely detached from everything. But he's seeing this young boy, his heart was becoming spontaneously attracted. And our Guru Varga have explained that Krishna saw, he's going to recognize me. I'm busy now, I have to go and milk cows. I'll pick up that pot from you later. So Krishna took that moment to disappear from his vision because he saw Madhavendra Puri was starting to recognize him. In this case, Rai Ramananda recognized this is no ordinary personality. So he left all of those who were there and he came and offered pranam. When he offered pranam, Mahaprabhu stood up to greet him. Why? Because Krishna loves his devotees more than anyone. Sadhava hridaya mahyam sadhava hridayam tvaham. I do not know anyone but my devotees, and they do not know anyone but me. And I am not at all independent from my devotees. The Supreme Lord spoke these words to Durvasa Muni in relation to Maharaja Ambarish. And it has been taken into our bhajan, Ebara Purana Koro. Tumara Hriday Sada Govinda Vishram, Govinda Kohina Mama, Vaisnava Paran. My Vaishnava, my devotee is my life and soul. So, in this way, Ramananda came and offered pranam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stood up and said, get up, chant Harinam, Krishna Krishna Bol, Krishna Krishna Bol. And then immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to embrace him. And Ramananda was feeling so lowly because not only is this a Vaishnava and a sannyasi, the Supreme Lord, also from Brahmin background, all of these things, and Ramananda was feeling, I am so low, how can I receive this embrace of this divine personality? But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw him as someone full of love and affection, and immediately spontaneous prema manifested between them. So much natural affection blossomed between them, and Mahaprabhu embraced him. And Ramananda was feeling so low. He said, are you that person, Ramananda? And he said, I am just a lowly Shudra. He was referring to himself, I am just a lowly Shudra. But Mahaprabhu didn't see these things. Mahaprabhu embraced him and wanted to meet with him. So at that time, it is said after they embraced, they both fell unconscious and they were roaring and chanting the names of Krishna. Others, the Brahmins, were witnessing. It's not appropriate that a sannyasi would embrace this person. He's from this material background. He's the governor of the king. He's engaged in doing all sorts of mundane activities. A sannyasi should not even see such a person. What to speak of embrace such a person? It appears that he could not control himself and he's embracing this low-class person. So even the Brahmins who had accompanied him to that place, they had this mood they could not understand. In the commentary on these verses in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur have given commentaries on this. And it said because they were judging according to birth, because they were judging according to the material external symptoms, but not seeing according to bhakti, it should be understood that those personalities, although they may have been born in such a high prestigious family, were paving a path for themselves to hell, based on this verse of Padma Purana, that they are judging this person according to their external material persona and not according to the nature of the devotion within their heart. And it is said that actually these persons should understand that they should become the servant of the servant of the servant of Sri Ramananda. How deep is his heart and how much devotion is there. So even if one comes or is born in a very high class Brahmin family, if they make aparad to the pure Vaishnavas of the Lord, then even they cannot be forgiven. And we've seen this. Who is Durvasa? He's one of the most respected high class Brahmanas. Right? Durvasa. But he made aparad to Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj was a king. He was a grihastha. He wasn't an ascetic. But Ambarish Maharaj was using all of his energy, all of his senses in the service of the Lord. Sabai manak Krishna padaravindayor. So when Durvasa made aparad to Ambarish Maharaj, even the Supreme Lord told Durvasa, I cannot stop the effect of this aparad. If a thorn goes into your foot, you cannot remove it from your head. You need to remove it from where it went in. You made offense there, so you need to go there and beg forgiveness. And this is further proof. Durvasa, such a high-class personality, Brahmin of Brahmins, had to go and take shelter, beg forgiveness, and surrender at the feet of Ambarish Maharaj. Even though Ambarish Maharaj technically was beneath him. Why? Because Ambarish Maharaj was utilizing everything in the service of the Lord. So an arrangement was made for prasadam for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then Mahaprabhu requested Ramananda that I would like to meet with you and discuss topics of Krishna Bhakti. So an arrangement was made where they could meet in that place later on. Ramananda, he begged Mahaprabhu. He said, just this darshan is not enough to purify me. This is quite interesting. This is the desperation of the devotee. Just this one darshan is not enough to purify me. You should stay for many days, 5, 6, 7 days, so that we can have some time together. And Mahaprabhu accepted. Why? Because devotees love to be together and discuss the glories of Krishna. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, and I quote it almost every day, Mat chita mat gata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantaschaman nityam tushyanti charamanti cha. Always remembering my glories, always discussing my pastimes, glorifying my names and forms and qualities. My devotees are experiencing pleasure, happiness and satisfaction at every moment. Tushyanti cha, ramanti cha. So in this case, Mahaprabhu is also playing the role of a devotee. Mind you, he is Krishna, but he's playing the role or experiencing the bhav of Krishna's topmost devotee. Who loves Krishna more than anyone? Only Srimati Radhika. So Krishna is endeavoring to experience the moods of love and affection for Krishna that Srimati Radhika has. So he's not thinking, I am Krishna. He's thinking, I am a bhakta, I am the devotee of Krishna. And in relation with Ramananda Rai is also a devotee of Krishna, as Vishaka is a devotee of Krishna. So Ramananda Rai is also a devotee of Krishna. In this case, they are coming together for the purpose of discussing Hari Katha. Dharma Shvanishtita Pangshan Vishvaksena Katha Suya Nutpadayat Yadiratim Shrama Eva Hi Kevalam. All other activities that one performs, if it does not bring about rati, a deep attraction and attachment for hearing the glories of Krishna, Vishvaksena Katha, of hearing the glories of Krishna, all of those other activities are considered hard, useless labor. That is the purpose. That is the goal. The Mahaprabhu is showing his greed. What is his greed? His greed is, I want to hear the glories of Krishna from the mouth of the pure devotees. This is how Krishna himself is showing in the form of Mahaprabhu what we should also do. By that association, more and more desire develops that I want to love and serve Krishna. By hearing the glories of Krishna. So, Mahaprabhu and Radha Ramananda came together in the evening. But this time, Radha Ramananda was not dressed in princely or governor-like clothing. He put on very simple dhoti, very simple attire, and came with only one associate to meet with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then they began beautiful conversations. There's an amazingly beautiful, powerful, super rasik and bhavuk lecture given on this subject by Srila Govinda Goswami Maharaj. And I recommend you all to read it. It is one of the most beautiful things we have ever seen or heard. How he's describing the meeting of Radha Ramananda and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Maybe you can put it on the end of the lecture, on the comments at the end.
Maybe someone will beat us to it. So in this conversation between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha Ramananda, it's very interesting because in some places we understand or we've heard that we should not delve into this subject. And in other places we are told, if you don't have a foundational understanding of the subject of their discussion, you won't know how to approach Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita or any of the subjects of bhakti as delivered by our acharyas. I remember hearing Srila Gurudev once say, I believe it was in Germany, in Kassel, and Srila Gurudev said, if you do not read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, you won't understand the moods of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam properly. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita gives us the means by which we can understand the moods properly. Otherwise, on our own, we can become confused. We could even lose the plot. Like previously Sudevi told, she was reading Bhagavatam on her own, and she realized on her own, without being under the guidance of Sri Guru, that the goal of Krishna consciousness is to become one of the queens in Dwarka of Krishna. She realized this on her own. But if you read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita takes us from the linear reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. Why I'm saying linear is because it goes to all of the different pastimes, but in somewhat of a linear fashion. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita helps us to view all of Krishna's pastimes from a holistic perspective. And Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami very expertly provides all of the tattvas and siddhantas so that we will be able to approach Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam with the proper mood and the proper conception, so that we will understand it from the perspective of Srimati Radhika herself, that is Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radhika, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that we will understand it from the mood of Srila Rupa Goswami, who we are endeavoring to follow, and our Guru Varga. If we want to understand it properly, foundation, a way, there's an outline by which we can enter. And if you see how Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is put together, it is done like an outline. The first chapter, every shloka in the first chapter is then made, each shloka has its own chapter afterward, and it is gone into in depth. So the first verse, then the next chapter is that verse, and all of the proofs from all shastras. It is brilliantly put together. So, in the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is Rai Ramananda Samvad. That is chapter Madhya Leela, chapter 8. And this is the conversation between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai. And in this, if we don't have a foundational understanding of this, we could very easily get distracted. So it's presented by all of our acharyas in all of their purports because it is the foundation on which all of their preaching rests. They might not tell it directly, but it is. Everything is there. Everything is there within this Raya Ramananda Sambad, from the beginning to the highest extreme, the highest extent. And so if we have some basic foundational understanding in Raya Ramananda Sambad, the conversation between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai, we will have a understanding of how to approach Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and all of the subjects of bhakti that we have come in contact with. Otherwise, we can become lost. So in this conversation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Raya Ramananda, I want to ask you some questions. And if you see through all of our scriptures, most of it is question and answer. And always, in every circumstance, we see that the name of the person questioning and the name of the person answering is given. Why is this? This is known as praman, evidence. Evidence means, even though it might be spoken by my Gurudev, if I quote my Gurudev, then I will sign my name and say, I am saying that he said this. And if I make a mistake, then you can hold me to account. Does that make sense? I'm not going to just say, Gurudev said this, Gurudev said that, and then not be accountable for maybe misrepresenting. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Raya Ramananda were having a conversation. We see in Bhagavad Gita, who's having a conversation? Ved Vyas is writing it. What is he writing? Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya is seeing, and he's having a conversation with Dhritarashtra. What is he seeing? The conversation with Krishna and Arjuna. Now it says Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Arjuna Uvacha. Our Gurudev has explained that in all of our scriptures, we see that reference is given. Someone is speaking something. Someone is hearing something. When these references are there, then we can refer to them. Otherwise, what do we have to refer to? So reference must be given. And this is the example given by all of our acharyas. And in this conversation with Mahaprabhu and Raya Ramananda, Mahaprabhu says, I want answers from you, but if it is not based on Shastra or has no Shastric reference, I don't want to hear it. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? What a valuable lesson is there. So many people speak so many things from the top of their head, and they'll say, well, Paramatma told me. I have one family member. They used to ask their Jagannath doll. They had a doll, a Jagannath doll, that had a cape like Superman. And if any question came up, they would go, Jagannath, what do you think? And then they go, Jagannath said this, Jagannath said that. This is not our process. Unless someone is really, really on that level, which means they have no attraction to the material world whatsoever, like the Chaudhary Brahmani, who was making Kishori from Madan Gopal, brushing her teeth with the other side of the same stick and cooking like this, and Gopal, Madan Mohan, the deity himself would come along with her own son. And Sanatan Goswami was like, continue doing as you're doing, because her spontaneous mood of Vatsalya praying for Krishna had awakened so much that Krishna himself would come and eat what she would prepare. So this is a very high level. But if we're not always there and we keep coming into this material realm and then trying to be the enjoyer in the material world and pretending that we're doing that, this will be known as prakrita sahajya. So we should have our feet firmly planted, as Srila Gurudev said, like the caterpillar. He said the inchworm, 1 foot firmly planted, then lift the next one. Once that's planted, then move forward. Carefully move forward, but have your feet firmly planted. Feet firmly planted means, as Mahaprabhu said, strong foundation in Shastra. Our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada said, a Vaishnava never says, I think, I feel, I believe, maybe, if. No. If a Vaishnava is ever asked a question, immediately he quotes Shastra. This is called Shastra Chakshushaha. One is seeing through the eyes of Shastra. So many people say, yes, but what about this exception? What about that exception? Exceptions may be there, but we are not instructed to focus on the exceptions. We're instructed by our Guru Varga and by Mahaprabhu himself to focus on the rule. And the rule is Praman, Shastra. Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam. That is the topmost spotless evidence. And how do you understand Srimad Bhagavatam? Jaha Bhagavata Para Vaishnavirasthane. By approaching a Vaishnava who has realized Srimad Bhagavatam, they can help us to understand Srimad Bhagavatam. In the case of this, what I was speaking before, the Vaishnava is Srila Krishna Ras Kaviraj Goswami, through which Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita has manifested to help us to be able to understand Srimad Bhagavatam under the guidance of senior or realized Vaishnavas. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I will not listen to anything unless it has strong Shastric support. So Ramananda accepted. And then Mahaprabhu started asking questions. Mahaprabhu said, first, what is the goal? And then he said, and what is the means to attain that goal? So first question, what is the goal? Very interesting. From this, we can see how our Gurudeva and Guru Varga have put so much emphasis on establishing first the necessity for ascertaining what our goal is. Without a goal, then what is the meaning of the means to attain the goal? Right? There's no meaning to that. Like, if I say get a train ticket, where? Where am I going? I don't know, just get a train ticket. Well, I need to go somewhere. Where am I going to go? So first the goal must be established. Once the goal is established, then the process to attain that goal can be awakened or given. So the goal is known as sadhya. It's okay, you can do it. The goal is known as sadhya, and the process to attain that goal is known as sadhana. So sadhana is defined as kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhavasa sarana vida nitya siddhasya bhavasya prakatyam hriti sadhyata. The goal of sadhana bhakti is to attain bhava bhakti. So once we know that, what is my goal, then all of the sadhana that I do will be for attainment of that goal. And that directly relates to the subject we've been discussing in this book, Going Beyond Vaikuntha. So it must mix, because within this book, all of these transcendental truths are also present, in essence. So, Rai Ramananda replies, Varnashram Dharma is the topmost goal, or sadhana, or sadhya, the topmost goal. What is Varnashram? Varna, ashram. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. This is the way to please Lord Vishnu. And he gave evidence from Shastra for that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu responded, that is external. Eho bahya. Go forward. Give me more. Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj explains that it's not that it is unnecessary. Just like when you build a building, you need to put a scaffolding first so you can build the building. And when the building is cured, when it is in place, when it is strong, then you can remove the scaffolding. So it is not that it is unnecessary, but it is not the ultimate goal in and of itself. So it's not something to be rejected, it is part of the process. So when we are living in this world, we must observe Varna Ashram. According to societal rules and regulations, Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarnam mayashishta guna karma vibhagasha. How is Varna determined? By guna and karma. By one's qualities and by one's activities. Nowadays it's determined by birth, but previously it was determined in Gurukul, that everyone would go to Gurukul as a blank slate. And the Guru would notice the nature of the activities and the qualities of each individual student. And just like you get placement tests now for going to university, what is your aptitude? Now people that they'll struggle to become a doctor or a lawyer so that they can make a lot of money, but because it's not really their nature, they might actually naturally be a carpenter, but they've chosen the path of making a lot of money. Then they're always in a state of dissatisfaction. So Krishna says very clearly, it's better to do your own duty, even though imperfectly, than to do a duty of another perfectly. That means don't become a doctor if that's not your intrinsic nature. You will not be happy or satisfied. It will only create problems in your life. What is according to the nature of your heart? What is according to your own intrinsic qualities and your own intrinsic activities? That will manifest your varna. And these days we see that even in Vrindavan, so many who are by birth Brahmins are now rickshawalas or sabji vendors or businessmen or anything else. It's and they're not able to actually engage in their birth dharma, if you want to call it that. But really, dharma was according to one's nature. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recognized what Rai Ramananda told, but he said it is external. Why did he say it's external? Well, what were those souls, what body were those souls inhabiting in their last life? And the previous life before that? And how about in the future? If Krishna says, Yang vapi smaram bhavam tejantyante kale, whatever you're concentrating on at the time of death, you will attain that state. And if Bharat Maharaj could become a deer, is a deer known as a Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra? He could go straight from the state of Bhav in Vaidhi Bhakti, from Bhav to a deer. Then the Varna and Ashram has to do with the body. It is not the soul. The soul, Jivera Surabhai Krishna Nityadas, the nature of the soul is known as Sanatan Dharma, the eternal religion of all souls, which is that we are all eternal servants of Krishna. Krishna Tatashta Shakti, we are the Tatashta Shakti, the marginal energy of Krishna, and we are at the same time different and not different from him. Different in that we are infinitesimal and not different in that we have similar qualities. We are not really separable from him, but we are eternally connected, but we are also not him. So this is Sanatan Dharma. But the externals of the body, like the son of Chitraketu Maharaj when he was brought back, they were like, oh my son. He said, which parents are you? I've had thousands and millions of parents in so many lifetimes. So just because I might be in the form of someone from America this lifetime, how do I know that I wasn't Indian in my last lifetime? Krishna said whatever state of contemplation one was in their previous, in this life, you will attain that. So how is it that someone can be born into a family of devotees in Rupa Goswami's line under the guidance of a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, chanting Hare Krishna and going to Mangalarti and taking prasad? Where did they come from? Right? So what was I in my previous life? I don't know, but I was born into that situation. That means I must have been contemplating something of that nature in my previous life. And this is not a gloat. I'm just saying this is what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. What one was doing, they will go there. And I will very, very frankly say that Srila Prabhupada also acknowledged that all of his disciples, they were sent by his Guru Maharaj to help him. So it might be that they had to be like a cell, they call us sleepers. And something awakened them. What awakened them? Mahamantra. He couldn't use newborn babies to preach his mission all over the world. So they had to be there waiting and ready at the age of 17 and 18 with full energy. And when Prabhupada chanted Hare Krishna, boom, they all began dancing and helped him to spread the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world. He said, my Guru Maharaj has sent you all to help me. And they were awakened. Is everything okay? Okay. So Rai Ramananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continue their conversation. Mahaprabhu said this is external Varnashram Dharma because it has to do with the body. It's not to do with the soul. So it is external. Then he said, go forward. Rai Ramananda, he said, okay. Atma Kamarpan. to surrender oneself and all of their activities to Krishna. Kamarpan. Not samarpan. Kamarpan. And then he quoted the verse from Bhagavad Gita. Yat karoshi yadashnashi yaj juhoshi dadasiyat yat tapasyasi kanteya tat kurushva mararpanam. Whatever activity one does, whatever they do, whatever they eat, whatever they offer or give away in charity, they should do as an offering unto me, Krishna says. Mahaprabhu wasn't satisfied with that, although it is quite high, because you're dedicating everything to Krishna. Except you are thinking, I am the doer, and I am separate from Krishna. I believe that this, Srila Gurudev told the story of Harishchandra, which I'm not going to go into at all, but I'm just going to give, because it's quite long, but I'm going to give the quick synopsis at the end, that we do not possess anything. We are not the possessors, we are the possessed. Possessed means we belong to Krishna. We are of Him and we are exclusively for His purpose. Our existence is solely to serve Him, to give Him pleasure, happiness, and for His benefit. And anything else we think, oh, I have made this, so now, or I have worked, now I have purchased something with that work, now I'm going to offer it to Krishna. But it's still devoid of offering myself wholly. I am the doer. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like, no, this is not the reality. This is external. It is good, it's good, but go forward. More. Eho bhakya. Go more. Eho bhakya means this is external, go forward. So at that time, Rai Ramananda was thinking, oh my God, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to go forward, much more forward. So what happened? Rai Ramananda quoted the verse from Bhagavad Gita. He said, actually, this mood of Sharanagati, but he quoted the verse from Bhagavad Gita, which most people think is the highest verse in all scripture. Sarvadhan mam parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvang sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Now the first two lines are really good. Sarvadhan mam parityajya. Abandon all kinds of dharmas of this world. What is that? Varnashram dharma. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. Give up your attachment to these conceptions and just surrender yourself unto me. Mam ekam sharanam raja. Unto me alone. Mam ekam. So this part is really good, but then Krishna follows it with aham tvang sarva papebhyo moksha. And then he says, ma shucha. You have my word that if you do this, I will free you from all of the reactions, the negative reactions of the sinful activity of giving up your dharma in this world. Suddenly it becomes karma mishra bhakti. Do you know what that means? It means I'm doing something for the Lord to receive the result. The result is to free myself from the suffering or the sins which come as a result of doing something. Right? Like circumambulating Tulsi Devi singing Yani Kani Chapapani Brahma Hatyadikani Cha Tani Tani Pradakshanti Pradakshina Pare Pare. I'm circumambulating Tulsi instead of thinking I'm binding myself to this pure devotee and praying that you can awaken Krishna Bhakti in my heart, Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi. That this is why I'm coming to you. Now I am saying, oh, if I circumambulate you, then even the result of killing a Brahmana, Brahmahatya,
It's okay, it's fine.
even the result of killing a Brahman, Brahmahatya, can be eradicated from my list of sinful activities. What to speak of the others? All sins can be removed. But the devotee does not pray for any of these things. The devotee doesn't ask for anything from the Lord. As Prahlad Maharaj told Sri Narasimha Bhagavan, I'm not a merchant, I'm not a businessman. I don't want anything from you. My nature is that I'm your eternal servant and you're my eternal master. So therefore my nature is to serve you without asking or expecting anything in return. Be careful behind you.
Yeah, I know. I see it. I see it. Thank you.
So Mahaprabhu also says the same thing. He doesn't want anything from Krishna. You can do whatever you like with me. You can break my heart. You can kick me away. What makes you happy? What pleases you? That is all that I need. If you're happy, then I would gladly suffer for all of eternity. If that is what makes you happy. But still the devotees, they do ask for one thing. Like Bhaktivedanta, where he says, Kita janmaha jatato das bahir mukha brahma nahi mor ash. Even if I have to be born as a insect or a germ, let that birth be in the house of your devotee. I have no desire to even become Brahma, if that Brahma is averse or not favorable to devotional service to you. I'd rather be near the association of a devotee in the form of an insect or a germ. Mahaprabhu says the same thing. Kripaya tavapada pankajastitu duli satrisham vichintaya mama janmani janmanishvare. Birth after birth, may I always have bhakti for you. He's not even asking for release from the material world. The devotee is not asking for anything like this. Please always just let me love you and serve you. They're not asking for anything in return. So in this case, this kamarpan, offering all of the results of my activities, sarvadharmam parityaja, I'm here, sarvadharmam parityaja, giving, surrendering everything, but this is still not necessarily bhakti. It's a very important point. First of all, I'm not going to approach the Lord for any release from material anything. This is karma mishra. I want you to do something for me as a result of me doing something for you. This is not the definition of pure bhakti. Pure bhakti is anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karma adi anavritam. Without any other desire, not desire aimed at impersonal liberation, means freedom from material suffering, or karma, not desire for some kind of reciprocation or reward for my devotion to you, which means the removal of my sinful activities. But rather the devotees say, let me suffer whatever I need to suffer in accordance with my karma. There is a bhajan like this, I can't remember at the moment, but let whatever come to me according to my karma, but let me always remember you and serve you, my Lord. So, in this case, sarva dharma parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja, we already heard about this karma. I was talking about anyavilashita shunyam. What is pure bhakti? Anukul, what is favorable for Krishna. Krishna anushilanam, what is exclusively for Krishna, for his happiness, his pleasure, his benefit, under the guidance of someone who is near and dear to Krishna, without cessation. This is pure bhakti. But any other reason, then it becomes mixed. And that is not pure. Jnana karma adi anavritam. Also, sarva dharmam parityaja, this is defined as sharanagati. Sharanagati is not necessarily bhakti, but it's considered the doorway to bhakti. It's not necessarily the positive aspects of bhakti, it is the doorway to bhakti. So what are the 6 symptoms of sharanagati? Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjana rakshishyati iti vishvaso guptritve varanam tata atmanikshepa karpanye. Accepting everything that is favorable for the development of bhakti, rejecting everything that is unfavorable for the development of bhakti. That's a natural consequence of the first. Rakshishyati iti. Krishna is my only protector. Goptritve varanam tata. That Krishna is my only maintainer. Maintainer, I said? Atmanikshep. Having no separate self-interest other than Krishna's interest. It means completely surrendering myself. And Karpanye means in all humility. Humility to Hari, Guru and Vaisnavas. Shadvidha Sharanagati. These are the 6 symptoms of, oh my God, surrender.
You never get to catch it.
I didn't realize the time was going so long.
I told you you're supposed to do this for a couple of days.
So, I feel really bad. Because today is the disappearance festival of Radha Ramananda. So from there, Mahaprabhu said, go forward. because he wanted to know more about the positive aspects of bhakti. So Ramananda started talking about Jnana Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti. Mahaprabhu was like, go forward, more. Then Raya Ramananda started with Dasya Ras. Started speaking about servitor mood. Mahaprabhu's like, yes, go forward. Then he started speaking about Sakya. Mahaprabhu said, go forward. Then he started speaking about Vatsalya, parental mood. Mahaprabhu said, yes, yes, good. Now he's not calling it external anymore. He's just saying, I want more. Mahaprabhu is becoming greedy to hear. Go further, go further. Then he started speaking about Kanta Bhav, Madhurya Ras. And Mahaprabhu was like, yes, yes, but give more evidence, give more. So Ramananda is speaking about this highest conception. The conception of the mood of the love of the gopis for Krishna and Vrindavan, but Mahaprabhu wants more. And Ramananda is getting quite surprised. No one's ever asked to go so high before. I've never been able to speak this. I understand that you are using me as your instrument. And our Guru Varga, I believe it was Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur or maybe Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, is explaining that Mahaprabhu is like the ocean of rasa. And Ramananda is that cloud which is being formed by the evaporation and the condensation of that nectar ocean. And so Mahaprabhu himself is making that cloud, and that cloud is pouring that rain back on the ocean. In the same way, Mahaprabhu is making Rai Ramananda speak, and Rai Ramananda is showering Mahaprabhu's ears, which are like these oyster shells, to make these pearls, these jewels manifest during the time of Swati Nakshatra. He's receiving the same nectar which he himself is giving. And Rai Ramananda is realizing, oh, you are doing this. I'm just your mouthpiece. You're like playing the veena and my mouth is vibrating with that sound. But you are manifesting this in my heart and then hearing it in return. How attractive are the glories of the devotees. How attractive are the topics of bhakti. That the original supreme form of Krishna, who is even more than that because he is the combined form of Sri Radha and Krishna, is so greedy to hear it. He has made this beautiful pastime. So Rai Ramananda is going deeper and deeper. And then Mahaprabhu is saying, go more, I want to hear more. So Rai Ramananda tells Mahaprabhu about Rasa Leela pastimes. How the gopis ran to Krishna in the middle of the night. How Krishna told them, Napare ham nirabadya samyujam, I cannot repay you for your love and affection, even in a lifetime of Brahma. Why? Your love and affection is the greatest thing that I know of. So let it be its own repayment. Let your love and affection be its own payment. Because I cannot repay you. For everyone else, he says, I can repay you according to how you approach me. But for them, he could not repay. But Mahaprabhu wanted more. Why? Srimati Radhika had left that Rasa Leela, and Krishna went to pacify her. And there it is said, Anaya Radhika Ununam Bhagavan Haririshwara Yanno Vihaya Govinda Pritoyam Anayadraha. So Krishna is searching for her. And he found her, and he's pacifying her, but suddenly he hears the other gopis coming in a distance, and he disappears. So Mahaprabhu wasn't fully satisfied with this because it appears that Krishna valued the opinions of the other gopis enough that he didn't want to show that he loved Radhika more than anyone else because he didn't want to risk getting in trouble. So then, this is the commentary of our Guru Vargas, of our Acharyas. So Mahaprabhu is telling Ramananda, further, go further. Ramananda is becoming completely shocked. He wants to go further than this. So then Ramananda starts speaking about the Rasa Leela pastimes of Vasanti Rasa at Govardhan. There's a very special pastime. Rasa Leela is going on there, Chandra Sarovar. Chandra, the moon itself, becomes stunned and is witnessing this for an entire night in Brahma. But only Radhika's Swapaksha gopis are there at that time. And Srimati Radhika also manifests man, which appears to be like jealous anger, but it is only a part of prem. Why? Prem. Within prem, sneha, man, pranaya, rag, anurag, bhav, mahaba, modan, madan. All of these stages are there. So man, which appears like jealous anger, is a facet of prem, divine, transcendental love. And what is prem? Prem is exclusively for Krishna's happiness and pleasure. So she is exhibiting these bhavs for Krishna's happiness and pleasure. She might not be thinking that, but that's the effect of it. It makes Krishna ever more greedy to taste that love and affection. It makes him more excited. This eternally difficult to get supreme love and affection. So much so that he begins chasing after it. So in this ras, yes, after man comes pranay. So there's a special kind of meeting also. So Krishna, he leaves all of them in front of everyone, and they realize it, and he's going to pacify Srimati Radhika. And this is that beautiful pastime that we've heard. I believe I actually told it yesterday, Paitagam, where Krishna is standing there in the four-armed form, and all of the gopis, they go to him and offer pranam. But when Srimati Radhika comes, she stands in front of Krishna. He could no longer even contain those two arms. From a distance, just smelling the fragrance which is emanating from her transcendental body, he feels that my life has become successful. My life has become successful. And she comes and stands in front of him. And looking upon Krishna, he only manifests this most beautiful form for her. Sakshat Manmata. So attractive. And because she is compared in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita to a spotless mirror, then she reflects that beauty and immediately it is doubled. Right? Mirror immediately doubles something. So in order to reciprocate with that immediate doubling, he immediately doubles his beauty and she immediately doubles her beauty. And then the doubling continues ad infinity. It means there was a transcendental beauty competition, as Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaja explained. And Radhika was manifesting her love for Krishna. He was manifesting her love for her. So beautiful, so charming. And all those who were in her anugatya, who were following behind her, not only did they get to see the love of Krishna for Sri Radha and the love of Sri Radha for Krishna, but they got to witness the love of Radhika and Madhava, because they are in her anugatya. How important it is to be under guidance. So at that point, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Rai Ramananda, that's enough. Yeah, he's like, don't speak anymore. And then Rai Ramananda started seeing something. What am I seeing? He said, first I'm seeing you, but now I'm seeing this beautiful darkish form of Shyama Sundar as non-different from you. But now I'm seeing this beautiful golden doll glowing effulgently and brilliantly. Rai Ramananda is seeing this. He's becoming completely intoxicated and confused by seeing this. And then he saw the most amazing sight. Srila Gurudeva Maharaja explained that Srimati Radhika, her heart is compared to a beautiful champak flower. If you've seen Frangipani plumeria, how the inner part of the whorl is like beautiful golden and it spirals out. And when it's young, it's like this, and then it opens up. So Srila Gurudeva Maharaj is explaining with Shastric evidence how there are three kinds of separation and three kinds of meeting. Three kinds of separation: bhavi, bhuta, and bhavana. And three kinds of meeting: bhavi, bhuta, and bhavana. When Rai Ramananda is seeing this amazing aspect of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna and Srimati Radhika, because Rai Ramananda internally is Vishaka Sakhi, he has witnessed so many of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna in their meetings and separation. So we can read it afterward, but I just wanted to share that at this point, Rai Ramananda is witnessing the unfurling of this beautiful champak flower. Means Krishna himself wanting to understand the depth of the love in the heart of Srimati Radhika for himself. Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidrishovaneva Ashwadyo Yena Bhuttamadurima Kidrishovamadiya Sokyam Chasya Maran Bhavata Kidrisham Veti Lobha Tadbhavadyam Samachini Shachikarbha Sindoha Indu. How great is her love? I do not know that. I want to understand how great is her love. She apparently is experiencing millions of times more happiness upon loving me than I am upon loving her. I want to know what she's experiencing. And then, Ashvadyo yena adbhuta madhurima tidasho bhamadiya. What wonderful thing does she experience about my sweetness? Bhamadiya. What does she experience? What is the wonderful thing that she's experiencing about me when I am expressing my affection to her? And the last one, Sokyam chasya mad agabhavata kidrisham eti loba. And what kind of happiness is she experiencing upon loving me? He wants to understand these things. So Srila Govinda Maharaj explained that like wax, it's hard, but if you put it in fire, it melts. In this case, this champak flower of the heart of Srimati Radhika was unfurling and opening up, and this beautiful Shyam Krishna entered deep into the recesses of the honey-like heart, Madhu Sneha, of Vrishabhananandini Srimati Radhika. And because of this, Raya Ramananda experienced the Milan, or the meeting of Bhavana. This amazing thing he had never experienced. Krishna entering deep into the ocean of Radhika's love and affection. Witnessing this and realizing at that time, this is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Radha Bhava Duty Subalikam Nomi Krishna Swarupam. He's Krishna himself, but completely saturated, covered and enveloped in the beauty, the mood and the complexion of Srimati Radhika. At that point, Sri Ramananda Rai fell unconscious, witnessing this, experiencing this transcendental Bhavana Milan, this amazing meeting which even as Vishaka Saki, he had never seen before, she had never seen before. For the first time he's witnessing this, realizing who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. Radha Krishna, Pranaya Vikriti, together, they are one soul in two forms and again coming together. Srila Govinda Maharaj explained, two transcendental opposites in one container, meeting and separation in one container. This completely consumed Ramananda Rai and he fell unconscious. So now we don't have any more time. This is a very, very beautiful and deep concept. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted Ramananda to bring us to the highest conception, our highest goal, our highest attainment. And from that we see that whose love for Krishna is the highest? It is Srimati Radhika. Only Srimati Radhika loves Krishna the most. She is the Sarvakanti Shiromani, the crest jewel of all beloveds of Krishna. Only she is able to fully satisfy all of the desires of Krishna, so much so that Krishna is the most desperate for only Srimati Radhika. He will do anything for her. He says, Radhika Premer Guru Ami Shishyanata. Radhika is my Guru of Prem. I am simply her dancing pupil. So Krishna is completely sold out to Srimati Radhika, always trying to pacify her, and obsessed with her love to such an extent that he wants to experience it to such an extent that he has manifested in this world as Sri Shachinanda. Radha, what is it? Radha, Sri Radhaya Pranay Mahima Kidushavaneva Ashwadyo Yena Bhuta Mudurma Kidushavamaniya Sokyam Chasya Maranubhavata Kidrishameti Lobha Tad Bhavadyam Samajani Shachigarva Sindho Harindu. Desiring to taste the greatness, the glory, and the beauty of the love of Srimati Radhika, what she has for Krishna, Sri Krishna himself, imbued with her moods and sentiments, has manifested from the womb of Mother Shachi as the moon rises from the ocean. How beautiful is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So today is the day of the disappearance of Sri Ramananda Rai, the anniversary of this day. He has manifested in this world this beautiful truth of who Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. And so many essential teachings, actually all of our Vaisnava Shastra is contained within Raya Ramanand Sambad in code form. And everything can be manifested from that. So, although any jiva is not qualified to experience Unata Ujvala Ras, that is Srimati Radhika's property, that is the highest love and affection, still, her Svabhakti Shriyam, the nectar sprinkles, the moods of that, some semblance of that, the jiva is able to experience. And that is our goal, our hope, and our aspiration. Mahaprabhu was so absorbed in tasting that through Rupa Goswami, he established his inner heart's desire in this world. Rupa Goswami wrote this Gunato Jvalarasang Swabhakti Shriyam, and from that we understand that this is the mood of those who are aspiring to be like Sri Rupa as sadhaks and Sri Rupa as siddha. Means the mood, the maidservant of Srimati Radhika. That we can assist, we can serve those who are serving Shri Radha and Krishna in the Nikunjas of Vrindavan. Shri Rai Ramananda ki jai, Kadiyatira Bha Mahamahotsav ki jai, Shri Shachinandan Gaur Hari ki jai, Shri Gurudev ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Rupana Guru Varga ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Sorry I took so long, I became excited and I lost time. Thank you for bearing with me. There's actually so much more to tell on that, but if you read what Srila Gurudeva Maharaj has spoken, your hearts will be flooded with the most amazing, beautiful and sweet nectar. Krishna Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Bolo Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe Jai Jai Vrindavan में हरि लाल की जय 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 श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे श्याम गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल
See you tomorrow. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.